What's going on, y'all? OG the Beast here, and something stink. I know that ain't. Wait a minute. I think I know what it is. It's that garbage ass game we just watched on Sunday. That's what it is, and it's still lingering throughout my basement. Let's talk about it. Drop my intro.
It's killer raps, we got the hottest staff. In 03, I made a dynasty like Robert Kraft.
The season as we know it is over, y'all. The last game was played on Sunday. The game that's supposed to be the game of the year. The game that's supposed to be the best from each conference. The best from the AFC and the best from the NFC. But let's face it, we didn't get that by a long shot, y'all. Instead, we got two teams that prepared for each other for 2 long weeks and gave us a very bland, very boring, very unentertaining game. Where the hell was the offense? Where the hell was the early MVP candidate Jared Goff? Where the hell was the GOAT Tom Brady? Where the hell was Todd Gurley? This game was screwed up from all angles, and it honestly hurt my eyes just watching, y'all. Hell, even the halftime show was bad. I mean, even the ratings came back, and hey, let's just say this was one of the worst watched Super Bowls in the history of the game. I mean, it's crazy, but for starters, let me shoot out some obvious numbers real quick, right? The Rams averaged 23.9 points per game this season, and they put up 3. 280 passing yards per game this season, which was 5th in the NFL, and they put up 229. 139 rushing yards per game, which was 3rd in the league this season, and they put up a whopping 62 measly, pathetic yards on the ground during the biggest game of their lives. Aaron Darnold had all these sacks during the regular season, but in the Super Bowl, where they at though? For Christ's sake, he's the reigning defensive player of the year. He did absolutely nothing in this game, at least as far as I can remember. Chris Hogan had 0 catches and so did Philip Dorsett. Literally, Gronk and Julian Edelman killed the Los Angeles Rams in this game, which is specifically what I said should not happen. If you saw my last video, you would know what I'm talking about. You would have heard me say this. Julian Edelman has 16 catches for damn near 300 yards in this postseason so far. He's a chain mover for this organization. He's a huge part of the offense. Bump him at the line of scrimmage and get physical with this guy. Disgruntle the timing between him and Brady. Make Chris Hogan beat you on 3rd down, not Julian Edelman. Now I know Hogan made that crucial catch down the stretch in that KC game, a beautiful one-handed grab down the sideline, but that's not an everyday thing for Chris Hogan. If you shut Julian Edelman down in this game and Hogan goes off and the Pats win, man, you throw your hands up at that point, because there's really nothing you can do about that. They did exactly the opposite of what I said. They still managed to line him up against a linebacker. They still ran way more zone than they did man coverage when they have the personnel to run as much man defense as they want. A lot of teams aren't as fortunate as the Rams when it comes to personnel and being able to line up in man defense with a single high safety over the top. But they can, but they still refuse to do so. And also, I think they still left too much room at the line of scrimmage instead of bumping these tiny receivers, messing up the timing between them and Tom Brady. I mean, I just don't get it, y'all. I'll tell you one thing though, Cooper Kupp was definitely missed in this game. But to be completely honest, I don't even know if he would have helped. Jared Goff really showed me something in this game, y'all. Bill Belichick realized that he has a hard time going through his progressions. There were times receivers were wide open and he either missed them completely or overthrew them. Sometimes he didn't even see him at all. I remember a 3rd and 4, specifically in the 3rd quarter, when he forced the ball to Robert Woods, who was covered, but missed the fact that Brandon Cooks was wide open on the out route. It's even been told that Goff is so bad at going through his progressions that head coach Sean McVay has to tell him his read in the headset before he calls the play. This guy comes out the huddle already knowing who he throwing to, whether he open or not. These guys scored 3 points, y'all. 3 points in the biggest game of the season. Both teams combined for 16 points total. That is the lowest all time in Super Bowl history. The Rams punted 7 straight times. They let Sony Michel pick up 5.2 yards every time he touched the peel. On the final drive, Brady didn't even attempt to throw, if y'all remember. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. I'm not even a Rams fan, man, but I feel for y'all. By the way, Sean McVay really disappointed me in this game also, man. He's been known as one of the most creative coaches in the league, and I saw absolutely none of that in this game. I honestly didn't even see anything from the Rams that I haven't already seen in the regular season. I mean, no aggression, no surprises, no nothing. Also in that video, I predicted Sean McVay going for a fourth down in a critical moment, or going for a halftime onside kick if the situation preceded itself. I saw none of that. I mean, he must have been completely intimidated by that goat standing over there on the other side of the hash mark. I'm watching this game thinking to myself also like, damn, what's wrong with Todd Gurley? I mean, I was talking with my cousin Bucci and I'm saying, man, cuz, I just know this dude has been playing through some type of major injury or something. Like, I bet after the game, they're gonna finally confess, hey, he's been playing with a sprained MCL or something going wrong with his knees or something. But to find out that he was healthy the entire time blows my mind. This is one of the best backs in the game, and he only had 10 carries in this game. The Rams are 9-0 when Gurley gets 20 or more touches, so why go away from what you know? I mean, to be honest, the game was never too far out of reach for you to stop running the ball until at least the fourth quarter, so I got absolutely no clue what the Rams were doing. I mean, if you told me before the game, right? If you told me before the game that the Pats would score 13 points and Tom Brady would complete only around 50% of his passes, I would have told you the Rams beat the crap out them boys. It's over with. This is just something I never understand. Speaking of Tom Brady, he ain't play all that well either, my guy. He only threw for about 260 yards while throwing an interception on his very first attempt. Not to mention he also fumbled the ball, but was lucky to have it recovered by one of his linemen. Now, I love Tom Brady, but this, oh, he got 6 rings, now we can compare him to Jordan crap? Nah, bruh. This gotta stop. This is the worst I have ever seen him play in a Super Bowl. I mean, just a year ago, he threw for a record 505 yards against my Eagles in the same game and put up 13 points against one of the best offenses in the league and came out victorious? Think about this for a minute. Process this bit of information. Aaron Rodgers would never be able to put up 13 points against one of the best offenses in the league and come out victorious. We would be bashing Aaron Rodgers to death, saying how overrated he is, blah, 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 blah. But instead, we sitting here now trying to compare Brady to Michael Jordan? That right there is why I believe Bill Belichick deserves most of the credit for the Patriots dynasty, in my opinion. Comment down below if you agree or disagree, but not by much though. But definitely the majority of the lion's share belongs to Bill Belichick, in my opinion. I'ma save that for another video though. If you think I'm speaking that nonsense, holla at me down in them comments, man. Y'all know what to do.